Good morning to all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, both at home and abroad, and to all listeners of Nice Radio everywhere. The weather in London this morning is 24 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a long bank holiday in England and Wales this weekend, and Monday is a summer bank holiday. That's Monday the 29th of August 2016. In fact, it is Carnival weekend. It's the Notting Hill Carnival, which is described as Europe's biggest festival, where over 500,000 people, yes, 500,000 people, are meant to attend the various events. At this time, the View from the Outside asks all listeners to spare a thought for people in countries which are being ravished by natural disasters and wars, including Italy, where the death toll from the earthquake is in excess of 280 as it currently stands. We ask you to spare thought for Syria and all the other African countries and countries everywhere which are ravished by war and where millions of lives have been lost. On A View from the Outside this week, we look at the issue of freedom, with the view being that more and more people are questioning whether Vincentians, especially those who reside at home, enjoy freedom in the true sense of the word. The Cambridge Dictionary defines freedom as the condition or right of being able or allowed to do, say, think, etc., whatever you want, without being controlled or limited. Of course, such right has to be exercised within the confines of existing laws. And that is why when a government seeks to pass laws which blatantly and flagrantly infringe on the rights and freedoms of its citizens, such laws are to be rigorously and vigorously opposed. The recently passed Cybercrime Act in the Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with its offending sections, is one such piece of law to be opposed in such a way. I came across a piece of writing that is, which was posted on social media, Facebook to be specific, 6 years ago yesterday. And so in keeping with the theme of today's program, one cannot resist the urge to share it with the listeners of A View from the Outside. The post is dated August 26th, 2010, and written by an American by the name of Dave Copps. And the following is what he wrote. "What is freedom?" he entitled it. "I received several calls this past Saturday from my friends in St. Vincent telling me that the Prime Minister went on radio to tell the country he had a verbal bomb to drop. The long and short of it was that the verbal bomb he thought he was dropping was about me. He went on to say that the New Democratic Party, the opposition party, had aligned themselves with a dangerous man with ties to the CIA and FBI, who was also buying up all the land in Bequia. First of all, my friends are laughing right now because dangerous is not a word people use to describe me. Jovial, funny, maybe, but dangerous? I think not. For those of you that are interested, I have never worked for the CIA, FBI, or any other government agency for that matter. I sold intelligence software, search software, to the defense while at my company, Enginium, after the tragic events of 9/11. They used our software to help combat terrorism. A colonel told me at that time that our software had saved lives. For that, I am very proud. Oh, and Bequia is 7 square miles in size, totaling about 4,480 acres. I have one. The Prime Minister went on to mock a fundraiser we began in Dallas to support the New Democratic Party, NDP, where we openly talked of doing what we could to support the people of St. Vincent in helping to preserve freedom and democracy. He said later, St. Vincent is the freest country in the Western Hemisphere. I found myself asking the question, what is freedom? Is freedom alive in a country where people run away from the opposition candidates for fear of being seen and losing their jobs? Is freedom alive in a country where people don't use their real names on the internet for fear of being heard and punished by the government? The Prime Minister had one of his people read the names of the people who had befriended me on Facebook to a large audience. Did they even know that many of the names they were reading were not real names? Did he know that the names were aliases people used for fear of him? How ironic. I am not Vincentian, but I love SVG. I have been visiting the country since 1993 and have many very close friends there. I tell my friends abroad that you come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines the first time for the islands, but you come back again and again for the people. St. Vincentians are beautiful, passionate, intelligent, freedom-loving people who deserve to live in a country without fear. I am helping my friends because I know in my heart it is the right thing to do. No, I am not a Vincentian, but that does not mean I can't be so very proud of the people who are standing up for freedom and democracy in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When I think of freedom now, I think of them. All the best, Davo. Yes, so that was written by an American, Dave Copps, which one could say is truly a view from the outside. And so in light of the foregoing from Dave Copps, can you as a Vincentian really say that you are enjoying your freedom in the true sense of the word? Many believe that the situation has worsened from 6 years ago. And many believe, too, that legislation is now used as a tool to further suppress your freedom. In 1997, Nelson Mandela said, one of the temptations of a leader who has been elected is that he may use that power, that powerful position, to settle scores with his detractors, marginalize them, and in certain cases, get rid of them, and surround himself with yes men and women. And so the call goes out now from a view from the outside, echoing and adapting the words of Martin Luther King Jr. from the famous and poignant speech that he delivered at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. 53 years ago tomorrow, on the 28th of August 1963, when he said, "Let freedom ring." Now a view from the outside says, let freedom ring from the top of the highest mountain, La Soufrière, and every other mountain and every hill in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let freedom ring and gush down every valley. Let freedom ring from the most northern tip in Fancy to the most southern point in Caliaqua on the windward side, and from Chateaubriand down to Caliaqua on the leeward side. Let freedom ring from Bequia in the northern Grenadines to Petit St. Vincent in the southern Grenadines. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every hamlet, every village, from every town, we will be able to speed up the day when we all, as God's children, Caribs, Garifuna, black, white, Asians, Jews, Gentiles, Pentecostals, Baptists, Seventh-day Adventists, Thusans, Protestants, and Catholics, Methodists, Anglicans, and all religions, we will be able to join hands and sing the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Until next week, this is Brayton Horn with a view from the outside, and with a reminder as usual to listeners to send your feedback